Hi, everybody. I am Brady Self. I am with Mississippi State University Extension, and I work out of the Forestry Extension Group. I am one of a couple of us that actually do hardwoods work with the extension. And what I've done is try to pull together the newer hardwood publications that we have out there that are available for your use. And I'm going to try to summarize some of those, tell you what's in them, and offer you a couple of ways that you can actually obtain that information for yourselves if you want to read into the meat of those particular publications. I am like everyone else. I'm working from home, so probably for right now, the best way, if you have questions, that you can catch me is going to be using my email address there at the bottom, brady.self@msstate.edu. If you have questions, by all means, just send me an email. If I don't answer it immediately, or even that, the rest of that day, it's not because I'm ignoring you. It's just it takes a while to get some of this type of information done, things compiled and back to you. I will respond to your email. I promise you. It just may take me a day or two. Uh, what I want to do now is I want to go into a couple of the publications that we have out there that are available for you to use, and kind of detail some of those particular pubs. What I'm going to do is reference you to the extension website, and that's extension.msstate.edu/publications as your source for those. And we'll go into how to actually pull that information off of the web here in a minute. But what I want to do now is actually go through some of those newer publications and tell you kind of what's out there and what's available. Like I said, uh, before I go into these individual pubs, what I do want to do is mention a couple of other publications that are older. They're still pertinent. They're great publications. They're just not new that are out there in our system. That one of those is going to be called Bottomland Hardwood Species and Site Relationships. The other one's going to be called Management of Degraded Hardwoods, I believe. Both of those are good pubs. They're out there. They're also in the system that I'm talking about. I just didn't feel like I needed to really go into detail on them. Been around for years and years and years at this point. I believe 20, 30 years, a couple of them, one of them. But what I do want to do is go through some of those newer ones. Like I said, the first one I want to talk about is publication 2896, Signs and Symptoms of Emerald Ash Borer. This is one that John Willis and I put together, I believe, 3 years ago. John Willis is no longer with us. He took a job with the Forest Service, so I inherited this particular publication. But what this particular pub, if you're not familiar with emerald ash borer, which is an exotic invasive species out of China that's wreaking havoc with our native ash species to the north of us, what this pub does is it shows you what to look for from a signs and symptoms standpoint, and gives you some visual cues on what you're looking for out there on the landscape to see if you have emerald ash borer. Now, currently, we do not have it supposedly in the state. It's in every state around us. My guess is it's probably here. We just don't know about it yet. So this is a pub that if you have those types of questions, this is a pub that will allow you to hopefully diagnose that you do not have emerald ash borer. It'll also give you some ideas on who to contact if you think you do. Second pub I want to mention is going to be more of a wildlife management or hardwoods for wildlife management themed type publication. It's going to be publication 2904. Managing hardwood stands for acorn production. This particular publication really details some ways that you can enhance acorn production of certain trees, certain stems that are more prolific seeders than others inside your stand to try to bump up that mass production in any given year. Pretty decent little pub that puts a lot of that information into one spot for you to be able to read. Publication 3009. This is another publication that's going to be along that same vein of thought with where we're going from an emerald ash borer standpoint. Is maintaining hardwood forest profitability without ash species. John Willis and I put this one together also, and it's an overview of hopefully how to manage a post ash hardwood stand. I'm not saying that everybody's got a lot of ash or that there's a lot of ash where there is a lot of ash, but if you have that in that particular species in your complex out there on the ground, here's some alternatives to if you're going back and reforesting or something like that. Some alternatives to planting ash species or regenerating ash species in those stands. The last pub that I want to detail right here Publication 3179, Grading Hardwood Trees, a guide to identifying stem quality in hardwood stands. That is, in the simplest way of explanation there, that is a hardwood log grading publication. It allows you to identify quality in hardwood logs and gives you kind of a quantitative way of establishing, what that log grades out as from timber selling standpoint. Pretty good tool for using to assess, the overall value of a stand. Not that complicated of a process, but it is something that you need to have a little bit of experience doing. This publication kind of tells you how to establish that. I also want to mention kind of a slate of new hardwood pubs that I have coming out. Hopefully, they're out June, maybe July at the latest is what I'm hoping for. And these are going to be more management oriented publications instead of those little specialized niche pubs. What we're talking about here are things like artificial regeneration, converting hardwood timber tonnage over to, from board feet to tons or tons to board feet. And then a couple of just generalized hardwood publications, intermediate treatments, and what is high grading, and some of the information that's out there from a treatment standpoint and what to guard against as far as high grading goes. And then a couple of upland hardwoods pubs, which we had nothing in the system until these two pubs come out, looking at natural regeneration, and also even before that, should I manage or regenerate my stand? Basically making the decision from a quantitative standpoint, from grading trees that are out there, and how to assess whether that stand is ready to lay on the ground, get it out, get it off the ground, get it off the landscape, and regenerate it, or whether it's something that you should manage and move forward with. Um, Again, not a lot of those hardwood pubs out there yet, but they are coming. So be on the lookout for them. And when they do get there, you can use that website that we covered earlier. It's still at the top of the page here, and you can query the online system, the online publications database for anything that you want. Any of those pubs, you can either type in the publication number if you have it, or the title if you happen to know it, or the actual content of it. And it'll pop up with those pubs and others that are related. Pretty good system, really easy to use. Other option that's out there, it's pretty popular, is actually consulting your local county MSU extension agent. These guys and gals have got a lot of knowledge. Some of them may be familiar in this case with hardwoods. Some of them may not. Some of them may know a little. Some of them may know a lot. It just totally depends on the individual. But one thing they all have in common is they know who to contact for that type of information if you so request it. They can also actually print off copies of these publications to hand you a physical copy to where you can actually take it home and study up on it. Again, I'm Brady Self. Want to contact me, there's my contact information again. Hopefully you can actually use this little presentation to kind of mold your mind into a direction of what's available and how you can access it. Again, if you have those questions, by all means, just give me a shout, and we will try to find you that information you're looking for. Thanks again, and hopefully we'll see each other in the future. Bye.